Join me as you and I and you take a journey to become better writers together and geek out.
I guess we're back to this. I'm not sure how you guys saw that beginning, but it was also choppy and staticky here. All right.
I wonder if I could have spoken through it like I did yesterday.
I was surprised you were able to speak out through the outro yesterday.
It was sheer willpower.
Well, folks, it's the Written Writ. Here we are together today with our special guest, Shannon, and our special guest host, Christina.
Hello.
Hello.
All right. So, Christina, we'll start with you since you're the special guest host.
Okay.
Tell them who you are and what you do.
So my name is Christina Gerlich. I'm a sci-fi fantasy author primarily, and I've been writing since I was 10 years old, so a very long time. And I'm going to be at Garden State Comic Fest Winter Edition and at the Sussex County Fairgrounds this weekend signing books. And if you're in New Jersey, come on out to the event.
There you have it, folks. Of course, Christina's been on the show a couple of times, and you can see on the side here her latest book, which is How to Be an Adult Junior Ranger. Can you tell the audience a little bit about that?
Okay, so this one's actually a fiction book because the reason I wrote it was because a lot of times you go to these conventions, and I love sci-fi fantasy, but there'll always be that one person in the audience or in the crowd of people that say, oh, I don't really like sci-fi fantasy. My brother, my sister, whoever dragged me here. So I want to have books for everyone because I write superheroes, zombies, time travels, fairy tales, Greek mythology, a little bit of everything. So this story is a fiction book, as I mentioned, and it's about a girl who was, when she was little, she was collecting national park badges, which are called junior ranger badges. Well, her mother took off before she was able to get all the badges. About 20 years later, the mother reappears and says, hey, let's go get these badges. Let's go on a road trip and try to bond. Begrudgingly, she goes on this road trip, hijinks ensues, and you kind of find out why this trip actually happens. And it's an interesting story.
Oh, sounds like a lot of mystery already in there.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, where you been, Mom?
Yeah.
That's the first question in my head.
You find out some stuff.
It sounds good. I love the title, How to Be an Adult Junior Ranger. It just feels like it comes out of nowhere. You're like, wait, what?
You know what? It's very divisive. Some people love it a lot, and other people hate it.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised. Okay. I think
that's so funny. An adult trying to get all their badges.
Yeah, it's a
That's
thing
so
that
funny.
they started.
Trying to get their badges. That's funny.
Thanks.
Yeah, I gotta admit, like, it's a great concept of the badges in there, and it feels like you didn't just throw it in there. I feel like it's a major part of the story.
It's interwoven into the story. There's a lot of family drama, grieving, coming to realizing that dysfunction happens in every family, but there's also dealing with commitment issues, love, all those different things.
It sounds like something we should pick up, and of course, like you were just saying, this weekend you're going to be at Garden State Comic Fest, Winter Fest. And of course, if you guys want to go pick up the lovely book from the lovely Christina, you can actually go do it this weekend because she's going to be there Saturday and Sunday. Mm-hmm. So go check them out at Garden State Comic Fest. And of course, the lovely Bitten Appleites will be there themselves on Sunday. And you guys can come and say hi, and maybe you'll be part of the trailer.
Absolutely.
Exactly. As you know, yesterday we were talking about Garden State Comic Fest, and it is a blast. And yesterday's show was a blast. You've been to Garden State a couple times now, Christina, right?
I think this is my second time going. One time I was in Showboat, and then
the AC one, yeah.
Yeah, and then there's this one. I mean, it's a great event, but I always have something usually going on in June when they have their major one in Morristown. I'm going to try to go to it this year, but I can't guarantee it because I'm actually going to be at Fan Expo early June in Philadelphia.
Let's
Because-
go.
You got a busy year.
Well, not well, yeah, kind of. I was gonna say no, but then I was like, why am I lying?
Dude, because between this and your job, and you're doing events as well. I know because you got that event in May coming up.
Yeah, so my 9 to 5 is I'm an event planner for Randolph Township, New Jersey, and I plan events throughout the year. And like I don't just do like one event at a time. I'm planning for the whole entire year. Like I'm counting eggs for Easter egg hunts. I'm planning an art festival in May. I'm doing movies in the park. It's a lot of like local stuff, but if you're in New Jersey, like Morris County area, then you can come on out. Most of it's free or low cost events, just so people can have fun.
And of course, in May you have the arts in the park. Which,
Yeah,
it was a blast last year. It looked like a lot of fun.
it was. It was a shame that you couldn't come. This year we have strolling performers, live entertainment, food trucks, a lot of crafters, a lot of artists obviously selling their art. We have, just performers of all types, and we even have reenactors. So, a little bit for everybody.
It feels more like a fair, like a festival, than it does any other thing, and that's great because that's where you have the most fun. You get some food, you get some dancing, you get some entertainment.
Well, a lot of times art festivals, I love art, but they can be a little bit stuffy, and very rigid. I want it to be fun for the entire family. So.
Well, I feel like you did a great job last year, and I know that your chili event went very well.
Yeah, that was like pulling teeth. It's actually really hard to get adults to come to events. I know, like Dave, Dave yesterday, he makes it look easy with his great events.
Yeah.
But, people want to do stuff for their kids, not for themselves. So like the chili cook-off, which is kind of, trivial, it was so great to see. We had over 100+ people come out and try different chilies from local restaurants and vote on their favorite. And we had raffles from like Cinder's restaurants, Roxbury Diner, $25. Like that's good for like, you and a friend or a husband or wife to go out. So it's like, it's the community giving back to each other.
That's the way to do it. And you still have vendors tables open, or did you fill them up?
I have 6 spaces now if Dave takes that one.
There you have it, folks. If you guys want to go vendor at this fantastic show, and it was a lot of fun last year. We put up a whole little trailer and a couple of pictures from last year's event, and you do it. I can't. It was just a lot of fun.
Yeah, if you want to vend, you can find me on Facebook or Twitter, Christina Garlic, and just send me, a message, and I'll hook you up with all the information.
There you have it, folks. Go do that. I'm telling you, this was a lot of fun. You like family events? This is where to go.
What days is that?
Oh, the event is May
What days is that
20th.
run again?
Oh, May 20th, 2023, and the rain date is May 21st, 2023, so the next day. It's a one-day event, 11 to 5 at the Veterans Park in Randolph, which, yeah.
Pretty good. Shen says,
Yeah, I wanted
hey,
to go last year,
guys.
couldn't make it. You said you had. Hey, Shen.
Yeah, Tony was one of the guys who was coming with me last year.
I wanted to go last year, I couldn't make it. But you had. Yeah.
Well,
You
if
said they
can
had
make it
beer,
this year.
so that's why I went. Yeah.
They do. We're having Glenbrook Brewery from Morristown at the event this year.
Oh, no. I see Tony has like a total delay over there.
Yeah. You're a resident alcoholic.
Look how long that joke took.
I keep hearing the static. I keep thinking it's in my ears.
Okay, let's see. Let's see who's doing the static. He's not back in the room yet, so it can't be him. I thought it was him.
Maybe it's probably me, I guess.
Maybe it seems to spike when you come back on.
Yeah, how audio is.
It's me.
He's having audio issues. I think no. I can still hear the clacking, so it's not you. All right,
Oh,
let me mute some people and see
it
what
was
happens.
Joy.
Oh, it was Chunky. All right. Okay, here we go. So now we have our friend here, Shannon Michele Collins, and why don't you just give him the whole spiel of who you are, what you do, lay it down.
I am a paranormal investigator. I am a poet and a model. And I took my experiences from a location that I had here on Long Island, and I wound up doing automatic writings from that experience, and I put them into a book of poetry. I just felt like the spirit that was coming through me at the time. I was channeling a spirit, so I felt like the spirit that was coming through me just needed like her voice heard. So I decided to just put it into a poem, and then I shared it, and then I decided to put it into a book, and here I am. I released it on Halloween, and I'm really excited about it. It's so weird because every time I do these things I talk about it, I seem to be losing my voice lately. It's so odd. I was fine talking before, so I don't know what's going on.
It sounds like
But
the spirits are trying to hinder or
I feel like
help.
I'm
I'm not sure which
choking.
one. We can't let you talk about that. So before you wrote this, with the help of the spirit, had you considered writing before? Did you do any writing before that?
I always I did write poetry for a long time. I started writing poems when I was like 7 years old. It was odd because when I didn't understand why it was coming out. Like some of it would be coming out in poetry, some of it would just be coming out like random thoughts that I would put
Right.
into poetry. There is one accidental poem in there that's my poem that's not supposed to be in there, but it is what it is. I still like it. Everything happens for a reason. But yeah, it's just weird. So when I looked into why, like the history of the place and the history of the people, and like just trying to make sense of my experience of it, I found out that the guy was into poems. Like his whole study was like poems and other stuff like that. He really enjoyed them, so it made sense that it would maybe come out that way.
Also, you know who worked through you.
So I know it's a really weird long story, which I'm writing a book about now. So I don't want to give like too much away, but
Just
I
give us the
wound up
sum up.
I will. I wound up we investigated a place for monthly. We do events there, paranormal events where the public can come and investigate.
Mm-hmm.
And I accidentally wound up channeling a spirit there, and while I did that, it got attached, so it stayed with me. So the energy stayed with me, and when that happened, I was able to feel and see basically what this spirit had gone through, and she was really in love with this man, and and his energy is still there too. So we actually have audio evidence of this as well.
Right.
There's spiritual evidence and stuff like that, so you could go. I think it's on the southamptonhistory.org. You can go to the ghosts, and then it should tell the evidence, and you could hear some of the stuff that we've gotten there. But
That's pretty cool.
yeah,
That's something to check out. So how did you go from model, cosplayer, entertainer to ghost hunting?
I was ghost hunting first. I've been ghost hunting for
Okay, that's your
with
first.
my group. Yeah, with my group for like 13 years now.
Whoa.
I think 12 or 13 years. I've always been into the paranormal since I was little because I am sensitive, so I just always had experiences with it, and then all the other stuff just came after.
Well, that makes sense, because it makes less sense the other way around. Even though I've seen enough shows where people start ghost hunting and now they're famous.
I'm not. Hopefully, one day.
Well, yeah, but it makes more sense
For
when you're a ghost hunter and you're moving into the field of entertainment.
For you, is it
Yeah.
more of a feeling, or do you see things, or like mostly feel something?
Both.
Okay.
And the way I see things, sometimes I see things as if it's just like an actual person being there, and other times I see things as if they are like my memories. That, like, if you think back on something that you've done like in the last year and you could kind of picture it, that's similar to what like my impressions would be like if I went into a place. And I do pick up on feelings, but not just from like the spirits. I can pick up on feelings from people too. So that's fun.
So it's like deja vu
Well,
sometimes.
when you
Sometimes, yeah.
yeah,
But it's not my deja. You know what I
when you
mean?
see a spirit, do they, yeah, when you see a spirit, do they look just like us, or are they a little bit translucent like the movies, or I don't know, because I've never seen a ghost or anything. I have no idea.
Right. So some most of the time, like if I'm seeing them like that, it looks like a person. But there's
Okay.
like it's not like a full, you know what I mean? Not a
Yeah.
full bodied.
Right.
It's not transparent, but at the same time, it's not
Because it's
completely
like
solid.
quick.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to think, you know what I mean? That's if I'm on a case or something like that and I'm picking up on something or I'm seeing something, then I'll like really go for it. But if I'm, at work and I'm doing somebody's hair and somebody walks in, which happened tonight, and I freaked out. I was like, I need a minute, because like all of a sudden there was a man standing behind me, and I'm like, sorry, need a second. I warn people when they meet me that I'm a lot. So
I feel you though. I'm empathetic as well, and when that energy you pick up from people can be overwhelming sometimes.
yeah, it can. It really can.
Yeah, especially because a lot of people hold that emotional energy right there at their tips of their fingertips. So it just comes at you really strong.
Yeah. It can be a lot. Sometimes it's good and sometimes it's not good. Especially like if I could feel that, like, if somebody does, I don't know. It's awkward if you could feel when people aren't like vibing you. You know what I mean? Like, so it's
Oh,
just
I
like,
got
oh. I don't-
that must be an interesting moment for you.
It
It's
is
like,
what it is.
ooh.
Not for everyone. I am weird, so it takes a lot.
It must be great living in New York, huh? Must be great living here, huh?
Exactly what I was thinking.
Thank goodness.
Oh, New York.
Yeah.
I already feel like that when I'm on the train.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. I've had some train rides. Anyway. So I find it really interesting. I've always found ghost hunting really interesting, and the whole concept of auto writing is always been to me, because as a writer, I don't know about you, Christina, but I hear voices that tell me certain things, or they, especially when the characters are very outspoken, they want you to tell the story the way they want the story told.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of I talk to myself sometimes, and hopefully nobody else is around, but I can't always guarantee that.
Exactly.
But like if something's like not jiving, I'll just sit there and kind of like play it out, because like I actually do see the scenes in my head sometimes, and then I put them onto paper, and it feels almost like it's supposed to be like that.
Right. So
Topol,
it
that's
must be
the name for that. Topol.
Okay.
Really?
Topol, that's the name for that. Like,
What's
when
that
you know a
mean?
character
Like,
so well, or pretty much it means like when you know a character so well, or you're so familiar with a character, and you try to write them doing something, they'll tell you, hey, no, I would never do that. Like, that's wrong. go do this instead. It's kind of what it means.
that makes sense. That's like, like a superhero.
Yeah.
If he did something out of the ordinary, Captain America wouldn't do this, or Deadpool wouldn't do that.
Yeah, We have a lot of bad writers now. We're not listening.
I think they want to write their own story and not somebody else's stuff. I think they're.
I don't think they're listening to that voice.
Nope.
So Shannon, like, is it
Captain America? Captain America said "Hail Hydra." I don't think Captain America say "Hail Hydra." I don't know. All right.
I don't know, man. Shannon, is it similar to that? Do you hear the voices the same way?
I guess, yeah. Sometimes. But it's different. No, well, it's different because it's like I like zone out. I actually got it on video the other day of me doing one. I didn't realize I was gonna do a poem video, and I just like went out and I started channeling something. I was like, I forgot I even did it. I found it. Super weird to see it. But yeah, I guess sometimes. I don't know. I know I'm repeating myself. I'm just trying to think about it.
It makes sense, and it looks to me like you're also trying to figure it out yourself.
Yeah,
and that shows, so that's a good thing.
because
and if you were able to catch yourself doing it, that must have been interesting for you.
Yeah, it was awkward to see because I saw the video. I'm like, what is this? And then I watched it. I'm like, what is this? It's really creepy. There was just like a few lines here and there, and like sometimes that's how it comes through. It's just a few lines, and then it's just like other times it's like I said, like the memories. So I'm just like writing it out based on the feelings I'm feeling when I'm getting those memories. Other times it's her, it's. And I could tell when it's like that because it's repetitive, like it just won't stop until I get it out. And then if I'm interrupted, it's just gone forever. And I'm just like, oh, okay.
So
that's cool.
Do your poems tell like a story, like each poem progresses it, or is it just like random poems in the book? Which, either option is great.
Yeah.
So originally how I had it, it was in that order. But the way that I put it out, it's not necessarily in that order, but it ends it kind of is and it kind of isn't. My poem in there kind of ruins it.
Okay, I was going to ask you, what makes it different? So it's the fact that your poem ended up in there, so it kind of changes the flow.
Yeah, it does. And there's, but you could feel the difference of emotion from the beginning to the end. And then there's going to be another one coming out after.
So does your poem fit or does it not fit?
It's still like it's still a vibe.
That's what I thought, because I feel like it ended
still
up
kind
in
of
there.
Goes. It's just not. It's just not the same.
Total. I get you. The total energy that you wanted in the book, but at the same time, for some reason, which is how these things happens, that piece fits with the rest of it. So maybe it was supposed to be there.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I'm not upset about it.
I can tell. But it's just it's the way I deal with things, the way I see things. It's always, I can always see that there's a bigger picture happening. Yeah. There's other things, putting things into places where they need to be put into, and so some people will look at me and go, "You're crazy, Ralph," but
No, I feel the same. I feel like things happen for a reason, so I was glad it went in because it was my own words too. So I'm just like, okay, cool. Because I honestly really debated doing this book and publishing it and stuff like that, because I felt bad because it was automatic writings and it was, her feelings and her emotions and stuff. But then I thought about it, I'm like, you know what though? I felt it too. So I lived it too. And you need to get this out of your system. So let's do it. You might help somebody else going through something, so.
As writers is what we do though. Sometimes we take somebody else's emotions, somebody else's feelings, and we put them into the work we're working on. It doesn't mean that it's any less ours. It just means that we had inspiration from somewhere.
Right.
So that works for me.
Yeah.
I think every story's been told it some way or another. So you shouldn't feel bad about taking an idea and morphing it into something great.
Thank you.
You're
I agree.
welcome.
Joseph Campbell said it best. Every story has been told. And now it all depends on how you're going to tell the story, because the way you tell it will be different than how it's been told.
Oh, I like that too.
Did the ghost move on after you finished her story?
No.
Or is that part? Oh, she didn't.
No.
Nope. Somebody has unfinished business.
Yeah. I don't know. It's I feel like it's getting there though. It's not as often, it's not happening as often as it was happening. So it has been 3 years. So there are times where it's triggered, where it comes out, like if I go anywhere like around that house or anything like that.
That makes sense.
Or the town. It's weird. I'll get like a buzzy feeling and like I get like dizzy. Like I can feel like I'm like, oh gosh. So it's cool.
Where the house is?
It's in Southampton.
Yeah.
It's in Southampton.
We really need to go to New Orleans. There's such weird energy there.
I want to so bad.
Oh my gosh. Like that's like one place that it kind of like makes my skin crawl a little bit. Like I love it, but it's just, there's, like you said, a vibe, if you will, if you go there.
Yeah. I just want to feel it. I'm scared also, but I'm just based on my own experiences here, but I still want to go. I feel like that would be lovely.
So, you were saying that you were at the barbershop and or the salon, and this stuff happens. Does this happen to you all the time, or are you in a place where you can actually control when it can happen and when it can't happen?
Kind of both. It can happen sporadically, and it can happen, I think, if I'm just trying to. I mean, I can't say that I can connect with everyone or everything, because I feel like it just wants to, if it wants to connect with me, but yeah, I don't know. Today it was weird, but I've had other weird occurrences happen there too. What's
the strangest thing that's happened to you then?
Oh, well, this is probably the strangest things that has happened to me.
So.
But I've had other strange things. Just this tops it.
All right. So what before this, what was the strangest thing that happened?
I don't know. I mean, I think I'm just being like touched or whatever, nothing compared to this.
Creepy. Yeah.
This, I feel like if it's hard to believe this, so I get it if people don't believe me. I totally understand, because unless you've been through it, I get it. It's tough to believe. But yeah, the touching, like if you touch on your shoulder, your hair might get pulled or whatever. Spirits tend to like to touch butts, I found out. There's a lot of butt touching.
Just because you died doesn't mean you stop being a pervert.
Yeah. Tons of butt touching on the other side. So
it makes sense.
That might be why they can't. That might be why they can't move on. Stop being a pervert. The baby.
Why they can't move on? You're right.
Cross over. Right?
I'm not saying they all do it. I'm just saying,
It happens. Yeah, we got it.
And okay to be a creep even if you're dead, all right?
Oh my gosh.
So that's weird. It's like really weird too if you're like at a location and like you're the only people there, and then you just like hear like an audible voice.
Yeah.
So when I'm not having like a psychic moment, when I'm having like a human experience, like a regular experience, it's just so
it throws
weird.
You off.
Yeah, it's so cool. Everybody should do it.
It always bugs me out when you hear a voice come out of nowhere and you're the only person in the house.
Yeah.
Not good. Sometimes good. Not good. Especially when it mimics other people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's not nice. I don't like that.
I always say, put me in a horror movie. It'll be the shortest horror movie ever. As soon as I move in the house, I hear, well, that's it. I go. Take my bags and go.
You ain't got to tell Tony twice.
I say the same
Nope,
thing.
it's
I'm in
like,
a horror
get out.
movie.
Okay.
Something tells me to get out. I'm gone.
I would want to know why. Why do you want me to leave? Can't we be friends?
No.
Let's just be friends.
But that's the funny thing about ghost hunting, though. It's like usually what other, well, I can't say what other people would do because I've seen enough and I know enough ghost stories where people want them to investigate once they get the horrific or something happens. But it's the funny thing with you guys, you want it to happen and you're trying not to run when it happens.
Correct. Sometimes we do run. But I have run, but I run back. It's like a quick runaway, and then I'm like, wait, what am I doing? And then I go back, but then I usually wasted it because I ran away in the first place. But because like when things happen, they are usually like quick, so you have to be like, quick.
If you miss it, you miss it. Yeah. But the good
Yeah.
thing is that they feed off that fear. So it's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's like, oh, well, she got scared, so I might do something else now.
It's really so we do a lot of like outside locations too on Long Island. So, like one of the scarier ones would be Mount Misery, off
Ooh.
Mount Misery Road and like Sweet Hollow Road. And we've had like possible like just really super negative things, potential demonic things there. People have done like tons of rituals and stuff like that there. So we've actually got some pretty crazy evidence there too.
I think outside is more scary than when you're in a haunted house because, like, it's contained in for the most part. But when you're outside, it can come from any direction, and there's just something more, I don't know, primal about it that makes it a little bit more freaky.
It is scary. You just and you don't know what you're. Yeah, it's scary.
Yeah. I mean, my friends back in the day, we all used to hang out. We have a road in town called Shades of Death, and it's right near Jenny Jump Lake, which has like this dark history.
That's a lot of bad names in a row there.
So like we would go there and just like leave each other and see how long we could like go without freaking out. And
Wow.
eventually somebody would run to the car.
That sounds like my kind of a thing. Like, I would love that. We kind of do similar stuff. We'll do like drop offs and stuff.
Yeah. It's fun, but it also gets your heart pumping.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
But I agree with you, Christina. I feel like when it's in a house, you're like, I can run out of the house. When you're outside, you're like, where the hell?
Where do I go? But it's like an adrenaline rush too sometimes, especially like when stuff is happening. It's almost like, I guess the same feeling some people would enjoy like from like skiing or like jumping out of a plane. I mean, I wouldn't compare it to jumping out of a plane, but but it's still exciting,
I feel like that's why, for the past couple of years now, that the whole paranormal community has been building and building and building. More people are doing it. More people are doing it. And I think it's because of that, because now, people go, well, I was scared before. Let me find out why I was scared. Let me find out what happened. They want answers. And I feel like a lot of the people that do it have had an experience and now they want answers.
Yeah, because it's just so crazy. Like, it's so odd. Like, I know I'm like a sensitive and stuff like that, but even I'm like, why? Like, why would I know? Like, ew, like, how do I know? That's so weird. You know what I mean? Like, it weirds me out sometimes because it blows my mind.
It sounded like a blown mind.
I know, that was my brain sizzling. I'm done.
and I gotta say, like, from the things that I've experienced, is it was one of the reasons why I went down the path of trying to become a priest when I was trying to become a priest. It was because I wanted some answers to certain things. And it's an incredible force that leads you forward to just like investigate, to find out, to get creative, actually, too.
Yeah.
So I know that you also work with Brimstone, right?
Oh yeah, we've done some stuff together. Yeah, he's helped me with my book. I was
Uh-huh.
gonna say it. He helped me. He helped publish my book. And we've done like a bunch of photo shoots together and stuff like that because we just work with similar brands, represent similar brands and stuff. We were both in the convention scene, so we've just known each other for a while, or, you know.
Yeah, because that's how I met you, was through Brimstone, out at whoa, which convention was it? I'm losing conventions now.
I think it was on the island. It was the I met you at the
I'm happy it's just
the
not
one
me.
at the Hilton. I think it's the one that we were at the Hilton
I think you're right.
for.
I'm trying to remember which one it was.
I know, and I feel terrible right now.
Oh, don't
so.
worry. And I know it's the same thing
So
with
sorry.
you. We do so many conventions that after a while they
Yeah.
start to meld into each other.
Yeah.
So that one
Wow.
Tropicon, or is that Long Island Comic Book?
I think it was one of the Long Island.
Yeah.
Long Island Comic Book Expo.
Yeah. I believe it was that one.
I can look at the Instagram. Let's find out.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what. No, I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, and we do so many conventions. What's the next convention you're planning to do?
My next convention is going to be on the island. At it's the hold on one second.
Don't worry about it. Like
I'm
we
the
said, we
worst
do so many
person.
conventions, it starts to get kind of weird.
Yeah. So there's going to be a Mallrats Nostalgia Fest coming up. And then I have another. I just have so many coming up. They're going to be listed on my page and on my website as they get closer.
Yeah, okay, I was at that one. Festival of Games. I was at that one.
Yeah, it was.
I met you there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if Ralph met you before then, but that's when I met you.
I don't know. That's where we met her. Festival of Games. Yeah. I was just looking at the video now. I didn't know you guys were looking at it. I didn't know I changed
go to too many
everything.
conventions.
The next convention I have is on the 25th of February.
Oh man.
I think it's the 20th. I'm the worst person right now. I'm sorry. Oh, that's me.
Yep, that's you. That's when we
my
met
little
you at the
bun
gaming
buns.
convention.
Are you doing the next one at the Cradle? The Cradle
question.
Aviation, right?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I think so.
Oh, cool.
I think so.
We gotta admit, we love the Cradle of Aviation and all the stuff they do. Their conventions are always fantastic. Is the next one CradleCon, or is it one of the?
They have, I think, Long Island Retro Game is having
That's the first one, right?
in March, and CradleCon in the summer.
Doesn't the role playing one come first? Doesn't
That's
the
the
role playing one
tabletop.
come first?
The tabletop is happening
Yeah,
sometime soon too. Yeah.
And then
See, like I said, folks, a lot of conventions.
festival games.
Yeah, I think you need a stream where you just go through all the conventions and just like list them all. Be like, all right, is this one a good one? That one's a good one. Like a deep dive.
I think we will do that one of these weeks. We're just gonna sit here and go, all right, folks, this is what the year looks like. Here's this convention. We're not going to this one because we got to go to that one, and we can't go to that one because we're going to that one. That's what it is.
Hey, they're all good. A bad day at the con's better than a good day most places.
Yeah,
dude, yeah. Most conventions are fantastic to go to.
Yeah, guys go to one. There's one in your.
Yeah.
I think the hardest part
get
about
out of your house, go to
conventions.
one. There's conventions every week.
No, what I was saying was I think the hardest part about conventions is just setting up and taking down all the stuff.
Yeah.
It drains you after a while.
Yeah, so
we know that too because we've done tables. I know Shadow does it all the time, but he's made it a science now.
How?
My OCD and everything has just taken over. I've got it just rolls out of the duffel bags.
I'm up to 3 suitcases of books, and it's heavy.
No, I feel, dude. I used to bring like these stupid heavy things. Like I had like cinder blocks for a while, to, like set up this whole display. So what am I doing?
Christina, when you do the conventions, do you do it by yourself? Do you do the suitcases? You go back and forth?
Well, when I do the big events, I literally have probably like 8 suitcases. I keep half of them in the car, and I bribe somebody to come with me. I'm like, I'll buy you food. Please come with
Dude,
me.
next time you can invite me.
They have these things you can hook together if you've got rolly suitcases. So you
Really?
can make like a whole like caravan of them.
Oh my gosh. Can you send me that like after the stream? Because
I don't have one. Someone was showing me it. I was flying somewhere, and like this lady had them. She had like 6 suitcases.
Oh yeah, you put them all together. It was like a little train going down.
Yeah, it's like a little train. I was like, what?
I'm literally
cute.
I'll see
dragging
if I
like
can find a video of it.
2 suitcases at once. My friend's dragging 2. Like I'll have like, like stuff hanging over me, and like everybody needs to just get out of my way.
Con warrior.
Yeah.
You start being, get out the way. Yeah.
Well, I was at Awesome Con a couple of years ago, and the guy who plays Archie in Riverdale, he was just standing there talking. I have all my stuff with me, and he's not moving out of my way. So I knock into him, kind of like side check him like an asshole. Oh, there I was the first.
There's one. I didn't do it first today.
All right. Well, I knocked him over.
That's pretty.
That's
cool.
funny.
And you cursed Archie. Wow. Oh, God.
Did you give him a copy of one of your books though?
No, he doesn't know who I am. And that's why I can get away with it.
He so happens to be watching this today.
Jughead is okay though, right?
He caught himself before he fell.
It's a British fellow that plays Archie, right? Yeah.
I think it's Australian.
Oh yeah.
See, those are the con stories that people don't get to see too much of. Dude, we all have those con stories where you bump into the wrong person or the right person, trying to set up something and something else happens.
Absolutely. I'm not gonna say who it was, but there was like a B-list celebrity at an event. I wanted to get his autograph. I'm like, hey, how are you? The pen wasn't working, so he threw it at me. Whoa. And
wow.
And he's like, go away, come back later. And I was like, all right, I'm never coming back.
That's terrible. That's terrible. I would have threw it back at him. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's just me.
I was in shock. Like sometimes you don't want to meet your heroes because it like screws with you.
Dude, it's sad to say we've had those experiences a couple times. But I gotta admit, like when they're sweethearts, and that's when it becomes amazing. Like you'll meet somebody and they're actually a really nice person, and you're like, "Whoa, he was really a nice person."
Yeah, a lot of them are pretty cool.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, most of them are. I feel like my experiences, most of them have been.
But you do have one or two
pretty
people who are, yeah.
Tell some stories off camera about what we've run into, but.
I know Leslie has her story, and and if you ever see Leslie, ask her to ask you what happened to her. She'll tell you. She won't say it in public, but she'll tell you. Now Shadow's intrigued. I know Kaplan has a couple of them too. So
that's a mistake.
Shannon, you also do the paranormal conventions because I see the paranormal conventions are becoming bigger and bigger.
Yeah, I did Warren Con this year. I think we're going to Long Island Para Unity.
You know that one, yeah.
I think they're going to also the Salem Para Con, and there's one on a boat. Like a Salem boat.
Ooh.
The USS Salem, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know if I want to be on a haunted boat, especially if it's out in the water. Because when you
I don't know if it's like floating. I don't think it's floating. I think it's just, an old boat. I'm not sure. I'm not going to that one. I'm not doing that one, but my group is doing
runs over the water.
You go over like King Park and stuff like that.
There's that boat in LA that's super haunted. I think it's the Queen Mary that a lot of
the
people
Queen Mary,
visit.
yeah.
But I don't think it.
Yeah.
I don't think it like goes out to water.
No, it just
but I don't
stays
think it
there,
goes
yeah.
out to water though. But
Yeah, no, it
supposedly-
stays there.
No.
yeah,
It's a
supposedly super
hotel
haunted.
now.
Yeah.
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 I'm amazed at how big the paranormal community has become. Like every once in a while I'll get an invite from somebody going, "Oh, come to this paranormal convention and come to this paranormal convention," and I'm like, "Okay, this is becoming like in par with the regular conventions." Because they're
Yeah,
all over
there's
the country.
a lot of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I
It's a
kind of
very,
want to
very,
go to
very,
one.
very big community. Yeah, you should. It's pretty cool. They're interesting.
Yeah, they are.
They're interesting.
All right.
It's mostly like you meet a lot of interesting people.
That Salem
You know, in a
one
good way.
caught my attention.
I had a feeling you were gonna go.
Yeah.
I think I like that Salem one.
I pulled it up on my computer. I'm like, it looks like it's November of
Yeah.
this year.
Yeah.
We've had a couple of friends go to the Salem one, especially because they also do vendors, creators, writers, and then I know a couple of ghost storytellers, writers that have gone to the paranormal conventions to sell their books.
Yeah.
And I've known
It's
a couple
great.
other
It's great.
people. Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Oh, definitely. A lot of spooky fun.
And they usually
Especially
do
during
like a
that
lot
time
of
of year.
lectures. Sorry.
Oh no, go ahead. Yeah.
They usually do a lot of lectures on like different areas of paranormal. So it's pretty cool because you could just learn a lot or just you know, if you have questions. I don't know. It's cool. It's fun. I like it.
Have you ever done any of
like it.
like lectures at these events?
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
was it
yeah.
on like automatic writing or another topic?
It was on just basically just experiences at places that we've investigated, and then we've played our evidence. Yeah.
How do the people react when you play the evidence usually?
It depends on which evidence we play, but most of the time they're, because they get excited. That's usually their face. So, some people obviously, not everybody's going to believe it because some people just have to be there for it, which is again fine.
And I've seen it before where you get friends, they watch the video and go, "That's staged." I'm like, "Who's staging?"
Yeah.
No,
we don't do
are
that.
people doing the ghost hunting staging it? Somebody showed up at the house, did this whole Hollywood thing, staged it. I'm not gonna say not there's nothing that's not staged, but at the same time, there's times where you're like, how?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I think you have the fake ghost hunters that just want to make a name for themselves. They'll be the type that stage it. And then you have the legit ones. And, I think you'll get something authentic, but it's hard for a normie to know the difference between them.
That is true.
Right. Those people give us a bad name.
Exactly.
But they're I think it's becoming more obvious, like that, like certain things are just meant for entertainment and other things are actual paranormal stuff.
I agree. I feel like there's certain things you watch and go, it's wrestling. And there's other things you watch and you're like totally shocked.
Yeah.
It's a spectrum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know you're working on the book itself, of what happened to you. Are there any other ideas roaming through your head on other books you can do? I know you also said that you're probably going to do a follow-up to the poetry book.
Yeah, I'm doing the other poetry book. I still work on my own poems, and I do have some things in the works, but I don't want to say anything yet because I don't want to jinx it. You know how that is,
Oh, definitely. As a writer, it's always the thing. Like that's why I always ask the question because I know there's other things brewing. I know Christina has like 3 or 4 other book ideas, right? Look at that. See?
Yeah.
I still want to do that haunted carnival story that we talked about months ago.
Oh my God, yeah.
That sounds like fun. I want to read that when it's done.
Yeah, it's about like somebody who spreads like ashes at a carnival, and these ashes like possess people at the carnival and start murdering. So like it's a work in
That
progress.
sounds like such a good idea.
Yeah.
I can't
It
wait
was
to
so
hear it. I
excellent when
can't
she
wait to
said
read it.
Yeah.
We were like going back and forth, like, ooh.
You know, like like Disney World won't let you shred ashes. Though. Even though a lot of people want to, they won't let you. But people do it anyway. But you know,
Yeah,
they won't.
Yeah.
up in a vacuum.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you imagine? That's also an idea. You know, somebody does it and they're not supposed to do it, and that's what starts the hunting.
Yeah, exactly.
They broke the rules. Now they got to stay, you know.
And if they end up killing like 13 people over a course of X amount of days, that it brings like a demon back or something like that.
Ooh. I see you're thinking.
That's lovely. Like that the wheels are turning.
Yeah, you can see it.
Like Walt Disney's ghost. Walt Disney's ghost comes back. It's like, hey, I don't want you here. Get out.
There you go. 13 days, 13 ghosts bring back Walt Disney.
It would be kind of funny if at the end it was like a comedy, like who they brought back. I'd get hit with a copyright, but probably sued out the bejesus. But
it could be Salt and Bibney, you know.
William, I don't know. Instead of Walt, Will, I don't know, Lisney, or I'll have to rhyme a bit.
I'm happy you did that, Christina, because I always talk about on the written writ. You know, people always are like, well, writing is so hard, but it's not that writing is hard. You know, the coming up with the ideas and getting things together, it's fantastic. And you know, everybody has these ideas. You know, all you got to do is write them down. You know, it's just the dedication to writing it down is the hard part.
For me, the hardest part is I'm tired most of the time.
I know that one.
And so I'm like, I'll get on the computer. I'm like, I could do a page, maybe two. And then I just start falling asleep, like, you know, like, oh my God. And you know, and it just, you have to be in that right frame of mind. And when you work like a full-time job or, you know, have other commitments, it's very hard.
Oh, it definitely is. But that's what I'm saying. It's the process that becomes hard. It's the idea of writing isn't as hard as people make it out to be, because everybody has ideas. Everybody has stories that they can write. You know, the whole thing is to get it down, to put it down, to give yourself the oomph to get it done. You know, and I feel like that's where people start to fall apart. You know, you just talked about your experience, but at the same time, you're still going to do it again. I feel like certain people just give up.
Yeah. I mean, I'm on page 50 of the book I'm currently writing. You know, I've been kind of on that for 2 weeks just because so many things have been going on, but I'll eventually get back to it. And I you know, and people who have written books, like, you know, or short stories or whatever, they'll eventually get back to it. There is, like you said, a level of dedication that you need.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
You know, but that's with anything.
Last time I wrote, it was I fell asleep, so it was cute. And I was like, what the hell was I writing?
Yeah. You're supposed to write a story about a queen.
Probably. Or a character named Q, like from James Bond.
It's a question, isn't it?
It's a question. It was about the Question from DC Comics. Love that character. Actually, I've written a couple of things for the Question because I like him so much. Steve Ditko. He's coming back as the Question. There you go.
Yeah, created Question. Well, you know, the Question is, if you've ever read anything Steve Ditko's ever wrote, pretty much sounds exactly like the Question. It was so funny, like when Alan Moore wrote Watchmen. So, you know, like Rorschach is his version of the Question.
The Question.
He made Rorschach sound more like Steve Ditko did. The Question sounded, yeah. Steve Ditko. He was a big conspiracy guy, man. Spider-Man's co-creator with Stan Lee. He's a big, yeah.
It makes a lot of sense to be a big conspiracy guy because that means you got a lot of stories. Stories are fantastic. They're the breath of life. and I have so many stories in here. That's why people always tell me, "Oh, writer's block." I'm like, my block is more, which one do I write, and can I get through that one that I'm writing before another one wants to take over?
I don't let myself start another book until I finish it. So like I begrudgingly will write something even though I have something else burning in the back of my mind.
I can't do that. That thing bothers me.
Yeah, no. I have to get it out. You get it out and then, well, me, not you. I get it out and then I just go back to whatever I was working on before. Otherwise, because then I get afraid I'm going to lose it. You know, I don't want to lose it.
I just do bullet points in my phone and then I remember later on.
Yeah.
I've done both. I have to write it, and I've done like while I'm writing this over here, right, here's the bullet point. I keep writing over. That one is the one that bugs me out the most when I can do two of them at the same time, even though I'm not writing fully on one. But then it's just weird. It's a whole other. I've done 3 stories at the same time.
Yikes.
That was interesting.
That sounds like fun though.
Oh,
an adventure.
I think that's one of the things it is. I love the challenging myself. I think I love challenging myself more than I love publishing anything. So, because I'll do a lot of challenges, like our challenge back here, where we're all writing a story together, and we put all this stuff together, and they threw the corgi in there, whom they want me to kill now, but the corgi is still alive.
Poor dog. Could be a ghost dog, I guess.
Yeah, ghost dog.
Well, at the rate the story's going, the corgi's going to sacrifice himself because he's the hero. Yeah.
Oh,
It's not my fault. I didn't make him the hero.
The number one rule of writing is don't kill the dog off.
Well, the corgi is an amalgamation of a man and a dog. So,
but Ralph, don't you know we have 4, almost 5 movies based off of that now?
Yeah, and I've not seen any of them.
Based on that.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I can't think of a movie.
This is completely different though, because you're on a planet with a fairy detective, a pirate cat girl, a sentient space possum, a chameleon. Dude, that's a whole different world.
There's a website.
You need a succubus in
There's a
your story
website
as well.
for like people who don't want to see. Yeah.
Interesting. I might throw the succubus in there. Or I can see somewhere she belongs already. Okay. Because you have the keeper
Tony,
of the
what were you
cat.
saying?
Go ahead, Tony.
Oh, there's a website where like if you don't want to see animals die in movies, that you can go to the website first and they'll tell you whether or not an animal dies in said movie.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
So,
it's a good idea.
some people,
I think that's actually important because
there's one for kids too, because a lot of people. There's people who don't want to see.
that dog
There's people who don't want to see kids die either. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
I think kids are a little bit
It's not
easier
real,
than
but,
dogs.
I think they've become so because before, nobody would kill off a kid, but now people kill off kids all the time.
It was a little messed up in The Walking Dead when they killed off those 2 kids. It's like, look at the flowers. I was like, oh my god, this is like of mice and men.
Wow, yeah, that's what it reminded me of. Yeah,
that was great.
And when Carol's daughter was turned into a zombie in the beginning, I was like, what the?
Yeah,
I didn't see that shit coming.
Yeah.
You're like, it's a kid. They're not going to turn the kid into a zombie.
They have to do the shock factor. Yeah. Every time it's like ratcheting up a level.
And that's what it is. You now
like I have
you kill a kid. Go ahead, Tony.
I have a friend that he loves Hayden Christensen, likes the prequels, but that's the only thing that he can't get around. He can't get around Anakin Skywalker kills young Jedi kids. It's like, nope, never happened. It's like he can't get around
that
it.
scene doesn't make any sense.
That's like the only part.
It doesn't show him as
he
a
says
badass.
He says I want to be. No, it's not that. It's just the fact of killing kids, anything with kids, and he's like,
No,
and I don't
get
understand
that.
it. To me, I'm like, well,
personally,
he's a bad guy.
that scene
That's
doesn't
what
make
bad
any
guys do.
sense.
Like,
I mean,
wow.
fairy tales
To
are
me, he's a
pretty
bad
dark.
guy. That's what bad guys do. Like, Darth Vader blows up a planet. That planet had babies. Darth Vader blew up a planet. That planet has babies, kids, all kinds of. I don't know.
Yeah, but see, that's
At
more
least then once you
bad.
become a parent, it's different though.
You think the Death Star didn't have a daycare
Yeah.
on it? All right. Two sides to the story. Okay?
There's two sides to the story.
Just iced them.
All the babies that died on planet Vegeta.
Yeah, folks, this is exactly what happens here at the Witch Break. We geek out, and you're seeing the whole geekiness of it.
I can't believe he was upset about that, but he could stand Hayden Christensen. Like, that was,
Oh, damn.
I like him.
Dude, he loves him. He got his autograph. He got his autograph during COVID, and it was like behind, like, the glass thing, and you had to have a mask on to get your signature. Like, but just that one thing he can't get around.
Oh my god. So starting with Christina, tell them where they can find you, so when they go looking for you and they go looking for all the stuff you're doing, they can check you out.
You can find me at ChristinaGurlick.com. My name's on the screen, so I'm not going to spell it out. My book, copies of my ebooks are there. Also, some of my audiobooks. You can also go onto Amazon. You have to type in my full name because I think I'm partially shadow banned there. That's a whole other story. But yeah, you can find me on those two places. On Facebook and Twitter.
Shannon? All the places they can find you.
You can find me on Instagram at @adream_within_a_scream. You can find me on Facebook as Velma von Dinkenstein, because I do a Velma Dinkley cosplay. Well, I used to. I'm kind of not right now. And where else? Oh, www.adreamwithinascream.com. And you can find my book on Kindle right now because Amazon's being mean to me a little bit.
Amazon, stop being mean to her and let her book on.
It's just because of the shape of my book. It's the shape of my book that they're offended by.
I'm not sure why. It's like, we don't like it, we can't ship it.
They want your book to be a 6x9 format. So I actually write my books in a 6x9 template, so I don't have to even worry about it. I used to do an 8x11 and copy paste to lose all the formatting, spend about 5 to 10 hours just formatting it for Amazon.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah, so you're better off just writing that in that format.
Yeah. Thank you.
That's a good idea.
It's something
it made it impossible. They don't really they just keep kicking it back and they're like, no, and I'm like,
yeah, trust me, just change your format, you'll get it through.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate that a lot, actually.
Good tip.
Yeah, it really is.
Speaking, you do the Velma cosplay, so have you seen Velma on HBO?
I have not.
Okay,
I have not seen it yet.
All right.
I have not.
So
I don't want to. I don't know if I want to.
Okay. I'm gonna stay shut then.
I don't know. I don't think I want to.
If you love the character, you're gonna have a problem with the show.
I do. I mean, I literally do love the character. Like, that's why I feel like I can't, because I feel like they just, I don't understand the concept of taking something and then changing it completely. Like, just do something else then. Like, why do you have to take something and change it completely? Like, completely.
That's what I was saying. I was saying you could take the show and call it Biff, and it'll be a whole other thing, because that's what they did. Because these characters have a similarity to the characters we know. But if you want to do a parody show, you can just do a parody show, call the character something else, and you're gonna know who these characters are based on.
Right.
You don't need to take the characters and assassinate them.
Sorry, I had a moment there.
No, HBO Max.
It's my pet,
We feel you. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I'm a big mystery person, and the fact that there's technically no mystery happening in the show kind of blows my mind because they're mystery solvers.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah, I've heard
HBO Max,
horrible
they
things.
took off Popeye. Yo, they took off Popeye. They took off 500 episodes of Looney Tunes. That's when I canceled. I was like, come on, man. So
They
I'll
took
put
off
it
all
back
the
when
old
Peacemaker comes
cartoons.
Looney
back. I'm like, come on.
Tunes.
They took all the old cartoons off.
Yo, they had 41 seasons. They had 41 seasons of Looney Tunes. They had the most Looney Tunes ever, and they were trying to get more because they try to upgrade them to like the best quality. So we're in the process of getting more. They have 41 seasons of Looney Tunes, and they cut out 500 episodes. I was like, nah. We lost Popeye
Wow.
too. We used to have Popeye. So nah. I
And
mean,
it's
when
so
nothing
hard
was
to
on,
watch.
that's
It's
what I would
so
watch.
hard to see
So
those cartoons now.
they're
Please.
ending.
That's
Titans
one
and-
thing that they had over Disney. That's one thing they had over Disney Plus, because like you can't watch it. Yo, Disney Plus got like 5 Mickey Mouse cartoons and 5 classic Donald Duck cartoons. They don't have anything. That's one thing they had over it. Like, why would I don't know? Who knows? I don't
You
know.
got all the Batmans though.
When Peacemaker comes back out. They did on the side said the only cartoon you can watch. Oh, no, thank you.
Nathan said it's so that your only choice that you can watch is Velma.
It's probably what it is. Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
probably.
gonna force you to
Maybe,
watch
maybe.
Velma.
Mhm.
I
You
think they
know what bugs me out the most is that they have this huge library of all this stuff, and they're the only people you can see it through, and all the channels that you can see it on are showing other stuff.
I think they want to just like erase the past and then like design everything in the image that they want it to be in. You know, they in the past everybody had a shared collective. Like everybody talks fondly of Scooby Doo,
Yeah.
but now it's like it's so divisive. You either like love it or hate it, and most people hate it based on the Rotten Tomato scores and what I've seen and you've seen. But like this shared past, that's what needs. I think it could bring people back together again. It just right now everybody's so divided.
Oh yeah, and it's automatically somebody goes, "I hate this." I'm like, and I always want to know the same question: do you hate it because somebody told you to hate it, or do you hate it because you hated it from the get go? And if you hated it from the get go, why didn't you ever say that you hated it before?
Mm-hmm.
I love Scooby Doo. I love the old Looney Tunes. I would love to see all that stuff back on TV. One of the things that I hated because I think Boomerang used to show all the old cartoons, and now what Boomerang does it shows more of the same cartoons.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm an old fogey from the Gen X, and they don't care what we want. So, guys, what do you guys got to say? Tony, let's start with you. I think Tony is gone.
You're muted, bro.
There we go. Nope, he's still gone. Nope, still gone.
Hear me now?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we hear you.
Nah, I'm not on mute. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's see what the last things I did. Last thing I did was like I reviewed that time I got reincarnated as a slime, and what else? Oh, Onyx the Fortuitous and the Talisman of Souls. It's a movie I Kickstarter funded. It's available on Sundance. You pay $20. You can watch it online from the 24th. My name is in, so that's pretty cool. So you have 20. Check it out. You have until the 29th. It's a really funny movie. So give it a shot. That's all I got. I don't know if you heard all of it, but
We got it all.
Okay, cool.
It's interesting to when we do this show. Sometimes all the technical aspects that happen. All right, Shadow Rabbit. What do we got?
Hey man, just support these women's work and all the other indie people around. I don't have any shows lined up, but I will be hitting the indie art show at the Great South Bay Brewery. I think next weekend.
Yep, next weekend.
With,
Not this weekend, next weekend.
Fat Guys Inc. So I'll probably just show up there, just say what's up to people, and yeah, always got my commissions open, pumping out stuff as quick as I can.
Oh wait, dude, damn, look at that.
There we go.
That's amazing.
That's so cool.
Good old Erica.
Oh man, I wasn't expecting that. I saw you making something on the side, and I was like, okay, well,
Oh yeah, I was trying to play.
that's not what I was expecting. Damn,
I'm trying to
dude.
make her mask come on and off. And that's
Good old Erica.
You
Yep.
did? Oh, look at that. You are the man, Shadow.
Yeah, so that's what
Those
I'm
are the
playing.
little details we love, man.
Very talented.
Yeah.
Shadow is always at the conventions when he's working them. Right now he's taking a hiatus. So if you want to see Shadow and me, you can see us at the South Bay Brewery.
I
Great
think
South
that's where it is, but we
Yeah.
should look that up.
in Long Island on February 4th for the Indie Art Show with Fat Guy Inc. and of course Pete Vasquez.
BarCon?
It's the indie art show now.
Okay.
It's the Indie Art Show. It used to be BarCon.
Oh, okay.
It used to be BarCon.
So I'm not working that show, but I'll just show up to say what's
Yeah,
up.
we'll be there. We'll be hanging out. We'll be taking
A
some
bunch of
beers.
cool people will be though.
We're gonna be taking some beers and enjoying the show and having fun.
And then
Yeah.
there are a bunch of shows coming up, as everyone knows. Pretty much every weekend, I think there's something if you go looking for it. So
I think the only month that has only one show probably is February, and I think I just heard of a second show in February. We'll keep you posted.
did WinterCon happen, or is that happening?
WinterCon was canceled, so WinterCon is not happening.
Okay.
That would have been a third show for January. So I guess it's for us it's good that it didn't happen. At the same time, it's bad that it didn't happen. So because we like our conventions. We just would have been really busy instead of extra busy. And of course, Garden State Comic Fest is this weekend coming up. I will, and the rest of the Appletinis will be there on Sunday to hang out, talk geeks, and hey, if you say hi to us, maybe you'll be in the trailer. We'll see what happens. Chunky, what do you got?
I got those links in the chat.
Which one first? Tell me which one to start with.
Just go in order, I guess.
All right, first one. Okay.
The one I always forget.
Yep, I saw you put it in there. I was like, oh, okay, he's trying not to forget today. He's trying to stay up on top of the game. And yep, this is the one you forget.
Yep.
Dude, you know this looks like an RPG I played when I was young.
Yeah, it looks pretty sick, actually.
Yeah. Oh wow, look, they're at 10,092. So they're already funded. 231 backers, 10 days to go. Let's see if this thing will actually play.
Hi, my name's Sean Daly, and I'm a cartoonist from Toronto. I've drawn books like Samurai Grandpa, Better Place, Lost Soul, Bridge Builder's Creed, and a handful of other titles. My next book is called Illumon, 7 Rays of the Sun, and it's a comic book love letter to all of the monster catching games that I grew up with and still love to play. This book begins the story of a young monster catcher named Ken who journeys across a dying land in search of the 7 fabled monsters that were awoken and captured by her sister 3 years back. However, that means she'll need to confront her sister face to face for the first time in years, which for her might be even harder than saving the world. I've always wanted to see comics and graphic novels about fantastical monster catching worlds, and ones that explored emotional, grounded storytelling with the same sense of action and adventure that our favorite games have always had. I hope fans of those games and comic fans alike will find something meaningful here in the pages of Illumin's 7 Rays of the Sun. Thank you.
I got to admit, he does a good job of making it look like a video game that we played all so long ago.
Even the music sounds like it.
Oh, definitely, man. I feel like going to go play a video game right now.
It's the monsters.
So that's Illumin 7 Rays of the Sun, book 1. Go check it out. I might check it out if I can find some money to do it with. We'll see what happens. And of course, the next book is Hocus Hocus. Go ahead, Mr. Chunky. Talk about it while I put it up.
You always do this. Yeah.
Hocus Hocus. There we go. Yeah. 3,415. They're already funded. Fantastic. 117 backers. 22 days to go. Woo! And I loved this trailer yesterday, so I'm going to play it again because it was a lot of fun, even if it doesn't have my favorite rabbit in it.
Was it worth it, this Hocus? Becoming the greatest magician the world had ever known. You've been to heaven back, only to use your power, attempting to retrieve your soul. But I cannot give you what I no longer possess. Things are about to become quite interesting. Deals have been made. And I'm very curious to see your outcome. Hocus. Hocus.
Help us improve the experience with Astrid 3 Kickstart. I can't help you right now. There you have it. That's Hocus Hocus. It looks fantastic. Go check it out. They still got 22 days to go, so we can get them up there, help them out. Like we like to say here about Kickstarters, the more you help them fund, the more they'll put back into the book and the more books they'll make. Because nobody's making money off of Kickstarter except for the really big rich guys who already have money.
Look, it just went up. Like a little bit.
What magic!
Yeah, it did.
Written with bump.
Beating apple bump.
And real quick, my homies, Aegis Comics of Alaska, best comic shop in Alaska, they're doing a crowdfunding campaign right now. They're going through a little bit of a tough time at their shop and just trying to keep it open. So if you want to check it out, they do ship all over the country.
We're all over the world, people. All over the world. At least all over the States.
It's Santa Claus's comic shop. So, you know.
Exactly. This is
better known first responders, good folks.
Oh, freebies.
Yep.
All right, you're gonna have to explain this one because this is a surprise to me.
That's fine.
There we go. Freebies from Source Point Press.
Mm-hmm.
Boom.
Nope. There we go. So, all except for Good Boy, Source Point has, for the last few weeks, started doing book bundles. So, not counting Good Boy, you have Little Red Ronin by Garrett Gunn, and the middle one, Rise of Dracula by Rich Davis. All you got to do is pay shipping. Other than that, you ain't got to pay much. But that middle one is especially important. Grab those issues now before it's too late and they skyrocket.
And why is that?
Because Mr. Rich Davis is getting a movie made about Cult of Dracula, which is the first part of that story.
There you have it, folks. You better pick up your books now. When I was talking to Rich this weekend at Cosmic Con, he was saying that already the books are beginning to rise in price. So you know how it is when a movie is about to be made about your product. All the prices go up. So get yourself your books now.
Well, there's also Renfield with Nicolas Cage coming out too.
Yeah, Dracula. Woo!
Yeah.
That actually looks like a lot of fun. I saw the trailer and it looks really interesting. I think I might check it out.
I think I will. Probably be like a stupid funny, but why not?
Yeah.
I really
It looked
enjoyed
like funny when you saw the trailer.
I really enjoyed that Violent Night movie.
Oh, the Violent Night Santa Claus movie? That
movie was fantastic.
Yeah.
I was gonna watch it on Christmas, but then I didn't.
They like yesterday or the day before confirmed a sequel already.
I had a feeling because it just did so well. And it's Santa Claus kicking ass. Who doesn't want to see that?
Well, Mel Gibson made one last year. I think it was called Fat Boy.
Fat Man.
Fat Man, close enough.
I didn't see that one.
That one was good, except for the ending. The ending kind of ruined it. Like, oh, this is kind of stupid. But the rest of the movie was good.
All right, one more link.
One more link. This is all you, buddy.
Yep.
There we go. Speaking of conventions.
So, March 25th, 26th, Bowling Green, Ohio. Come see me. Come see my, well, not my panel, but I'm co-hosting a panel there about Chunky Kong.
Chunky Kong.
And his ties to stuff like Queen Elizabeth's death and the Epstein suicide.
See, the cops are after me now because you talked about Epstein. What's wrong with you and Chunky? I told Chunky that I wasn't going to lie for him anymore.
Hey, man, come find out. March 25th, 26th, Bowling Green, Ohio.
You might also find out that Chunky's actually another monkey that's been considered dead, who I say is not dead. We'll see.
Harambe.
I didn't say his name. It was him. Go after him. So go check out our buddy Chunky at Marathon. And you can go say hi to an Appletini.
Yep.
There you have it, folks. Wait, hold on. Is Nat still back there?
Is he back there? Oh,
yep. Whoa.
Is he still
Whoa, Ralph is having some wild activity going on.
Ralph,
it's paranormal activity, folks.
Ralph,
Somebody's
that's not paranormal. We can literally see the flashlight being flashed at you.
What are you talking about? The lights are going off. There's lights happening in my face.
It's a singular directional light.
I think that's your daughter telling you it's time to wrap it up.
That's what it is. You know, look, haunted daughter, go. All right, go ahead, Nathan.
And do what? Lead us out? Okay, I will lead us out. Please like and subscribe, and we hope to see you real soon, and Ralph will hit that button, and where it stops, nobody knows.
And notification bell.
You said the whole thing.